So we talked about, I'm recording, we talked about lots about reincarnation and what will happen to people when, after the earth separates from itself, vibrating into two earths. One earth will keep the negative emotional energy, the other earth will keep the positive emotional energy. Not in how you're feeling, but in what you're doing with that feeling of emotional structure of self. And since there's no death in spirit because you're a fucking god, you got the parts of a fucking god in you, there can't be any death. Your body, your physical being, if you're stuck on the other earth with the negative intent making inside your heart, then you'll be reincarnated back there continuously and never come back onto this earth again until we finally evolve from the fucking place. This earth, this place will pass away, according to Jesus. The earth will pass away. The heaven above it will pass away. That's not a heaven, it's the middle place. Aliens operate the middle place. Aliens. Who are, to them, they're just beings like us. And we don't consider ourselves aliens, but we are alien to them, you see? But they're living physical beings, highly intelligent, and found a way to hack the living computer, and it stole its own wisdom. The angry person's wisdom that gets exploited through additional influences. So when you're angry, it all starts with the angry person's wisdom. You're angry and you think to yourself, oh, fuck, I'm going to go punch that guy in the face. That's an act of evil, a calculation in your heart's thought with evil, with the evil spirit influence rooted in anger, unresolved anger, and unresolved emotion. Because it's the emotional birth that happens first, and then we get angry. Angry is a secondary emotion. But if you calculate your heart's thought with that anger, then you're calculating your heart's thought with the darkness, the emotional darkness, and not the emotional light, which gets translated into the spiritual projection through human behavior. Because when we act on a thought, a heart's thought, whether it be in the total goodness of something or in anger, when we act through that, through human behavior, we project the spirit of that wisdom, you see. God, the Father of truth, doesn't want to lose anybody, even the horrible people, because he's full of love, perfect love, and kindness and goodness. So, but he has to discipline you and separate those who refuse. You're an infection to his perfect realm of light. There's a separation coming. Since we're at the final stages of that separation, it's the last life cycle. We have to get our shit together and develop a spiritual sense about ourselves, or we're going to be continually reincarnated to the other earth. There's going to be, this earth will vibrate itself into two earths. Take that for what you will. One earth will keep the positive emotional energy, which translates itself automatically into the spiritual positive energy. That's what a human emotion is. It generates spirit. For self to no self, emotional truth, spiritual daughter born in the immaculate conception between you and the life source. But because we have duality and the dark wisdom, the angry person's wisdom that leads to evil, that needs the lie to survive, and darkness and emotional darkness, unresolved state of emotional self. That's what emotional darkness is, that accumulates itself, where now that darkness has taken over the human will of heart in the heart's thought process, has taken it and turned it angry, fearful, and revengeful. You, instead of communicating what's wrong, we exact a retribution against other people who have wronged us. We've been taught to do that in the attack on humankind, to reprogram us to be dark. So that's taken its toll, that's for sure. It's hasn't been too long that that's been happening, where everybody seems to want to sacrifice children. But if you contain that negative emotional energy, then you have negative spiritual energy, and you'll stay on that earth that's going to the wars are coming there. Everything that you're ignoring here now, that's happening in what your government is doing here and killing people in other countries, you're going to be held accountable for that. Everybody is. You can't have emotional darkness and expect spiritual light to come from it. The spiritual darkness is the infection to God. Nobody would infect themselves with a deadly disease. To him, it's deadly. You won't go downtown, ask a junkie for his blood and put it in your arm. You wouldn't do that. Well, neither will God. God won't take you if you're dark. And though anybody who works for the government is dark. They have to be. And you're trained also to live in the human will removal formula, where you remove the person's truth and reality and put it into something else that can be exploited. That's a darkness. And you're helping that machine destroy people and kill people. And you don't see it, or you ignore it, or justify it. In the same way that the cops justified themselves being the muscling element for the deadliest psychoactive substances on the fucking planet, while they're going to arrest the illegal drug dealers and their muscling elements. You see, it's so fucked up, hypocritical, and you people think that's okay. You think it's okay to fucking sacrifice children. That's the worst part. And you'll all be held accountable. And then you're going to see something with God and the life source and what that really means to you. Unless you learn it now and get to know yourself. Anyway, I gotta go.